Alright, it's Wesley Stevenson with Expandacraft, and I'm going to go in a little bit more detail and a little closer up shot of the 16-foot Trihull. Now you can order this boat as wide as you like, within reason. This particular one has a beam of 5 feet, maybe 5 feet and a couple of inches. However, the decking I've left at 4 feet for a couple of reasons. One, it just doesn't need to be much bigger, so I'm keeping the weight down. Each one of these panels for the aluminum is 11.5 inches wide by 8 feet long. You could cheat and overlap that just a little bit, but what you don't want to do is have the deck running all the way forward. The reason for the shape of the bow of an Expandacraft is because it's wave piercing, and what happens is a wave will come up and completely over the top of the bow here, but as you can see, the top of it is kind of sharp and it bleeds off that energy from the wave and pops right up before the wave impacts the deck. Over here you can see it have quite a bit of clearance underneath, and that's why it's so slick through the water, and especially when it's choppy water. Now, come over here, you'll notice we have a swim ladder, not like, a kayak. It comes out and it stays into a ladder position just like that, and you walk up it, no problem. It would take something really, really ridiculous to turn a boat over that's like this, which is 5 feet wide and the center of gravity is so low. It's made to go through the choppy stuff. Don't be silly and take it out into a hurricane like I have actually done. These are just strapped down, multiple straps for security. You can see here that this enormous tub, which contains pretty much all of my fishing gear, and I just stand up from the swivel chair on top of the cooler. I will say this about the cooler and the chair combo: it's a little too tall. I should have measured before I put that combination on there, so I'm probably going to change that. And if you'll notice again, we just run straps through. Try to get the sun on the right side of me. You just run the straps underneath the decking and it holds everything down. This strap is a little more exposed, so you can see how that's done. It's run through. The top comes off without the straps being removed. Each one of these deck panels, the 8-foot long deck panels, is 16 feet, so it's 2 pounds per linear foot. This particular Expandacraft, we're powering with a 1.5 horsepower motor. It's an air-cooled gas motor that we got from Kayak Buddies, and that's plenty. I've heard a lot of people talk about, well, what if you put a 9.9 on it? It's not going to go that much faster. This boat wants to do about 5 or 6 knots. That's what you're going to get, and that's all you need to get it. You put a 2.5 on there, that would be fine to get you above the wind and some wakes. Now, I did something rather clever, I thought. Right here, just a stanchion, if you want to call it that, with the nuts and bolts here with covers, so that I can just keep my things here. That's my push-pull and my paddle and my rod. I have another place for a rod if I want to carry 2, or you can actually make it a little taller and carry as many as you like. The idea behind having a horizontal setup there is so that when you're fishing and you're sitting in your swivel chair, you can fight a fish in a full circle and not have to worry about anything sticking up and getting in your way. This craft, if you've seen some of the video on it, is super stable. I'm a big guy, man of a certain number of years. I'm not as spry as I used to be, and walking around on this deck, it's more like walking on a floating dock than it is a kayak. It's not really comparable to a kayak. Don't call it a kayak. It's an Expandacraft, something far more than a kayak. Now, this entire thing will break down, even though I've got it on a trailer for showing you guys. This whole thing breaks down and fits in the back of my pickup truck, and about 10 minutes, the entire thing. Maybe 15 minutes to put it together, depending on how many breaks you take. Expandacraft can be configured pretty much any way you want it. And you notice I've left this side completely clean, so you could load it up with electronics or what have you. Maybe leave one side, because you can always get up on this thing. You don't get up on the sides. Again, you get up on the ladder, the swim ladder. Plenty of boat behind you to counter your weight, even if you're a big guy like me. And this boat, without the seats and the motors and things, with the decking and the triple hull, you're looking at about $2,200, which is about half of a Hobie kayak without pedals. And it's so much more than a kayak. Very capable boat in the water, and very easy to disassemble, which I'm sure you have seen or you will see some of the videos of us taking these boats apart. One more thing about the deck is I left this deck raw because I'm just now putting it together and getting it ready, but I think I'm going to put some that flat outdoor carpeting, or better yet, that stickum stuff down to make it more comfortable on my feet. It won't get so hot. And when the aluminum is new like this, it's really, really shiny. So a little bit of salt water and it'll gray over in a few weeks, and then it's not so shiny. But it would be nice to have a little cushy mat on my feet when I'm walking around barefooted, although I rarely do that. Expandacraft.com. Check us out online. Search more of our videos. Make sure you hit the comment buttons and sign up to get more. And think about what you would make with your Expandacraft parts. This is just one idea. Expandacraft.com.